Welcome back to Movie Summary. Today we are diving into a film called The Gift. The movie begins with Robin and Simon, a couple meeting a broker, to tour a new house they want to buy. They just moved to California. Days later, they go to do some shopping and a weird guy keeps following them. He then introduces himself, his name is Gordo. Simon then realizes they went to school together. So they plan on catching up later as they are in a hurry now. That night, they receive a gift, a bottle of wine, from Gordo. They wonder how did he get their address. But this is only the beginning. The following day, Robin is by herself at home when she sees Gordo outside. He wants to see Simon but Robin let him know her husband is at work right now. So he shows her he bought them some glass cleaners. He adds that he really likes this house. Robin then invites him inside to do a tour. While touring, Gordon makes himself so comfortable that he ends up staying for dinner. But as time goes on, Simon doesn't seem fully comfortable with all of this. He just smiles while Gordon keeps rambling. After he leaves, Simon shares his feelings about Gordon. He was very uncomfortable saying that guy thinks we are friends, very odd. But Robin tells him it's only one dinner. A week later, the couple go home and find another gift from Gordon. Now it's getting odd. Simon finds it troubling. He shares with his wife that in school they used to call Gordo a weirdo. But Robin opens the possibility of Gordon just being misunderstood. The next day, Robin is alone when she sees Gordo again. She opens the door and feels unease. But she ends up inviting him in for some tea. He then goes to the fridge where he sees what Simon was writing last night, Gordo weirdo. He gets upset and storms out. Later that night, the couple is having some friends around and everyone agrees that guy is weird. They then debate if they have to go to Gordo's house, as he invited them for dinner even after seeing the writing. After the dinner, they do end up going to Gordo's house. They are impressed at his huge mansion. Simon takes this opportunity to have a little talk with Gordo. He tells his wife to go in the car. Once alone with him, Simon straight up tells him to never visit them ever again. Gordo is speechless and Simon leaves with his wife. The next day, Robin comes back from jogging and finds their fishes dead. She immediately calls Simon, who hurries home. This pisses him off, so he immediately goes to confront Gordo at his house. A woman opens the door and tells him there is no Gordo living here. Simon calls Detective Walker and Mills, who find out that Gordo was their driver. That's why he had access to their garage while the couple was on vacation. Simon also informs them their dog is missing. Robin takes matter in her own hands and creates many flyers to find her dog. She then hears a noise and realizes the water in the sink kitchen is on. But it doesn't stop there. That same night she hears noises in the house as well. When she goes to check, this time she finds their lost dog at their door. Simon thinks it's him. He thinks Gordo is messing with them. The following day, Robin finds a letter from Gordo. He expresses how sorry he is. He doesn't want to be in bad terms and agree to leave them both alone. But that same night, she gets a nightmare envisioning Gordo in her shower. She wakes up in sweat. Later that day, she keeps hearing noises. She goes to check but finds herself dizzy, so she passes out. Hours later, she wakes up to her husband already back home. But Robin tells Simon that they should call Gordo, because he made peace with us, so we should make peace with him. She screams at him that being alone here scares her. She believes if they say sorry to Gordo, it will make her feel better. But Simon reminds her it's over with Gordo. He literally begs his wife to put this behind. Days then go by, weeks, months, and Robin is finally feeling better. At Christmas, she reveals to Simon she is pregnant. One day, while shopping, Lucy tells Robin there is a creepy guy looking over her. She is horrified as it is Gordo. She goes to confront him but Gordo leaves. She had enough and asks one of Simon's friends if she remembers Gordo from their high school. She does. She reveals that Gordo was sent out of school after an incident that Simon reported. The following day, as soon as Simon leaves, she goes to search in his home office. Inside she finds an envelope with the name Gordon on it. She realizes it's a full background check. She asks Lucy why did her husband run a full background check on Gordo without telling her. Lucy suggests she also make her own researches. And that's what she does. She finds Greg, an old friend of Simon from high school. She asks him about Gordo. Robin believes he wants to hurt them for something that happened back then. She also tells him that a friend of the family told her that it's Simon and Greg that reported the incident that got Gordo removed from school. The incident was Gordo being by someone else in the car. Greg is hesitant, but Robin asks what really happened. Trying to deflect it, Greg breaks down and reveals the whole story was a lie. Simon made the whole thing up about Gordo being with a guy in a car, about him being gay. He continues by admitting Simon was a bully. Gordo was one of the weak guys. Simon destroyed Gordo with that lie. Robin is in disbelief finding out who her husband was. She comes home in silence. She takes a breath and reveals everything to Simon. She also confronts him about the fact that Gordo's dad even tried to finish him thinking he was gay. But Simon screams at her that the world is about winner and losers. But she wants him to at least apologize to Gordo, but Simon doesn't care about Gordo. He continues by talking about Robin's past, but she slaps him. After all these lies, she has no idea who he really is. The next day, Simon tracks Gordo and apologizes to him. But Gordo tells him, "You are done with the past, but the past isn't done with you." Simon asks what does that mean, but Gordon doesn't say a thing, so Simon pushes him around. Gordo tries to pick up the papers that fell, but Simon puts him on the ground, threatening him that if he ever come close to his family he will destroy him. The next night, while having friends for dinner, a rock has been thrown at their house, breaking a window. They go to check in a man by the name of Danny who punches Simon. He is an ex-co-worker. He screams at Simon that he knows he is the one that stole the position from him. He let everyone know how Simon sabotaged him to get the job he has now. At this moment, Robin is rushed to the hospital where she gives birth. The next day, Simon's work calls him and fires him after finding out what he did to his ex-co-worker. Minutes later, Robin tells him she doesn't want to go back to that house with him. Even his wife is taking her distances from him. He then goes back to the house to clear his stuff but finds another gift from Gordo, stuff for the baby. Meanwhile, Gordo goes to visit Robin. Simon plays a CD in the gift and it's a recording of his conversations with Robin weeks ago, audio and video. Another video shows Gordo walking in the house that time Robin passed out. It was his fault. He also shows what he did to her. He f***ed her. Simon immediately hurries to the hospital, scared that the baby may be Gordo's baby. Robin wakes up shocked of Gordo. When Simon arrives to her room, she is not there anymore. He sees Gordo and runs after him but losing him. Gordo then calls him saying he finally has his revenge. Simon then finds Robin and tries to look at the baby to find out if it's his. He starts crying and the movie ends as Gordo looks at him then walks out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out other movie summaries we have on our channel.